Do you have a favorite part of the holiday season? I'm sure your answer would range from spending time with family members you don't see very often, preparing a big dinner, traveling on a special trip, to giving and receiving gifts. For me, I would say mine would be giving and receiving gifts. Nothing gives me more pleasure during the holidays than to make gifts to give to the people I love and make them very happy, and receiving gifts myself and making me happy as well. The book that I'm going to be reviewing today explores the preparations for Christmas, especially the subject of gifts and meeting Santa Claus. The book that I'm going to be reviewing today is called The Berenstain Bears Meet Santa Bear, written and illustrated by Stan and Jan Berenstain. The story begins with the bear family, which consists of Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Brother Bear, and Sister Bear, arriving at the Bear Country Mall 2 days after Thanksgiving, presumably to start their Christmas shopping or just browsing for gift ideas. Mama Bear expresses her concerns about how the Christmas season starts earlier every year, and too much excitement is not good for the cubs. Papa Bear assures her that Brother and Sister Bear are good little cubs and that they'll contain their excitement. Pretty soon after he says this, the family walks past a big new toy store in the mall, and instantly the cubs get very excited, looking at the new toys that the store has on display within. The narration goes on to tell us that Brother and Sister Bear had just come from watching TV at home, and based on the commercials that they've seen, they have great ideas on what toys they would like to receive for Christmas. These include a huggable teddy bear, a ride-on pink pony, a dinosaur model kit, and a remote control robot. The cubs get even more excited when they see a sign indicating that Santa Bear will be there at the mall to meet all the cubs who come there. They ask Mama Bear if they could meet Santa Bear, and she agrees. I like how the story begins with lots of situations that are relatable in real life, such as kids getting excited about the new toys that they want for Christmas and wanting to meet Santa Claus at the mall. However, at the same time, it feels pretty dated to me. Mama Bear comments about how the Christmas season starts earlier every year, for instance. I would imagine that she would be even more surprised to find that nowadays, the Christmas season comes as early as before Halloween, and even before then. Still excited, Sister Bear writes her Christmas list for Santa Bear, containing the names of all the toys that she wants. She wants so many toys that her list is very long. So long, in fact, that the text tells us, to see the rest of Sister's list, please turn the page. This moment reminds me of a scene from the Christmas special, Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas Special, where Pee-wee Herman makes a very long Christmas list and asks Conky the robot to print it out, resulting in a list that's several feet long. I don't know how long Sister Bear's Christmas list was, but judging from the illustrations, I would imagine it would be at least 2 or 3 feet long. After Sister Bear finishes her list, Brother Bear warns her that if she asks for too many toys on her list, Santa Bear will think she's greedy and not bring her any gifts. This makes Sister Bear nervous as Brother Bear makes his Christmas list and she asks him about his experience with meeting Santa Bear. He states that it was a lot of fun, Santa asking him if he's been good, telling Santa what he wants, and gives him the list. However, Sister's anxiety over this is heightened even more when she thinks about the times that she hasn't exactly been good. These times include when she and Brother get into a fight and are mean to each other, when she and Brother Bear accidentally break Mama Bear's best lamp and they lied to her about what happened, and when she and Brother let their room get so messy that Mama got angry and threatened to throw away all their toys. I like this continuity moment that the authors added to this point in the story. The aforementioned moments that Sister thinks about all come from the Berenstain Bear books that were published prior to this one. They come from The Berenstain Bears Get Into a Fight, The Berenstain Bears and the Truth, and The Berenstain Bears and the Messy Room. It's nice to see that chronologically, this story takes place after those books, and it's nice to see a timeline of some sort in a series like this one. Mama Bear assures Sister Bear by telling her that Santa Bear doesn't expect cubs to be absolutely perfect. He just expects cubs to do their best to be on their best behavior throughout their everyday lives. Mama informs Sister that the family is going to meet Santa Bear at the following day and get her list ready for the occasion. Sister asks if Mama and Papa have lists for Santa Bear as well, but Papa explains that Santa Bear is just for cubs, not adults. This moment gives Brother Bear an idea and tells Sister that it's their job to get gifts for Mama and Papa Bear. So they gather some money that they have in their piggy banks, and Sister Bear makes a new, much shorter Christmas list in preparation for the next day. The book jumps ahead to the next day, where we see the Bear family at the mall, with brother and sister are waiting in line with lots of other cubs to see Santa Bear. As they wait, Sister's mind begins to wander, wondering all about Santa Bear and what he does, including how he gets all the gifts to give all the cubs in the world. Her thoughts are interrupted when, before she knew it, it was her turn to sit on Santa Bear's lap. Sister's meeting with Santa Bear goes very well. It goes the same way that Brother Bear told her earlier in the book, from Santa asking her if she's been good, to giving Santa her revised Christmas list, and complete with a complimentary coloring book. This moment is nice, I have to say, even though from an adult standpoint, the Santa Claus that kids meet is just a guy in a costume and not the real deal. When Brother and Sister Bear get finished meeting with Santa Bear, they separate from their parents to go do their own Christmas shopping. It takes them no time at all to find the perfect gifts for Mama and Papa, which I was impressed to see while reading this part of the book. I wonder how they figured out what gifts to get for their parents. I also noticed how dated this part of the story seems, especially with the idea of giving a handy pocket calculator as a gift. I bet kids today wouldn't know what that is. As the Bear family leaves the mall, Sister Bear spots another Santa Bear at the door, ringing a bell, and next to him was a black pot for collecting money for the poor, which in real life is similar to the people you see outside of stores ringing a bell and collecting money for organizations such as the Salvation Army, which people give needy people help during the holidays. Papa explains that the Santa Bear does, and that the Bear family all contribute to the Santa's collection. I can't help but to notice the strange expression on the Santa Bear's face in this illustration as they're putting money into the pot. He looks disgusted and looked like he would rather be anywhere but there, it seems. The story skips ahead a few weeks until Christmas Eve night. Sister Bear is helping Papa Bear do some last-minute decorating. As they're doing this, Sister asks more questions about Santa Bear that have been in her mind for a long time. Papa is clearly unsure of how to answer her questions, as I would imagine that he knows that, from an adult standpoint, Santa Bear is not real, and it's him and Mama Bear are the ones who give brother and sister their gifts on Christmas morning. Papa takes a deep breath and looks up at the sky. As he does this, he answers Sister Bear with this quote, "I guess the answer, my dear, is that Christmas is such a special time that very special, almost magical things can happen. And the most magical thing of all is Santa Bear. I'd say he has the best job in the whole world, because the joy of giving is what Christmas is all about." I must say, this is one of the most poetic things that I've ever heard being said in the Berenstain Bears book series, especially with Papa's final phrase of the joy of giving being what Christmas is all about, and I agree with that statement entirely. He may not have known what to say at first, but Papa sure came up with something very sentimental to say in the end. Before Sister Bear and Papa Bear go inside their treehouse, Sister takes one last look at the starry sky until it begins snowing. She figures that the fact that it's snowing will help Santa Bear with his sleigh. The next morning is Christmas morning, and the whole bear family wakes up to the entire bear country covered in snow and piles of gifts under their Christmas tree. Needless to say, the cubs are very excited to see this, and the gifts under the tree include many of the gifts that they wished for in the beginning of the story, including the huggable teddy bear, the ride-on pink pony, and the remote control robot. After brother and sister open their gifts, they watch as Mama and Papa open their gifts. They are very pleased and happy with the gifts that brother and sister have gotten them. It just puts a smile on my face as I read this part of the book to see that all the members of the bear family received what they wanted for Christmas and made the beginning of Christmas Day very special for them. After everyone has opened their gifts, Sister comes to realize that the message that Papa Bear gave her early in the story was absolutely right. Santa Bear did have the best job in the world, and the joy of giving is the true heart of the Christmas holiday. The end. My final thoughts on this book. With the title like The Berenstain Bears Meet Santa Bear, I would have expected the whole story to be about Sister Bear trying to figure out whether Santa Bear is real or not, which is one thing I'm sure most kids go through at one point or another. But that's not the case. Sister and Brother Bear clearly believe that Santa Bear is real, and there wouldn't be any reason to make a story about the cubs discerning whether Santa Bear is real or not. The real focus of this story is on the spirit of giving, which, as mentioned before, is the heart of the Christmas holiday. The story tends to lean on this cliche a little much, but I think it seems necessary for the story to work. I think it was a nice choice to have Sister Bear to be the focal character of this story and learning the lesson about giving and sharing, although this lesson could be easily learned by any of the other characters as well. Sister's questions and curiosity about Santa Bear feel very realistic, as I can imagine that kids in real life are also curious about Santa Claus and how he works as well. The final moments of the book, from Christmas Eve night to the end of the story on Christmas morning, are especially sweet. The atmosphere of these moments are simple, quiet, and downright sentimental. These are the moments in the book where I feel like the moral of the story shines the brightest, like the stars in the sky on Christmas Eve night. The only real criticism that I have about this book is that I feel like the pacing of this story can be a bit slow at times, especially in the beginning. The story picks up the pace more towards the middle of it, where Sister's anxiety and curiosity about Santa Bear is more apparent, and the lesson of the joy of giving to others begins to grow into its role in the story. As per usual for early Berenstain Bears books, the illustrations of this book are very well done. I like how very nicely detailed they are, especially in the designs of the toys that Sister and Brother receive for Christmas. The various environments that this story takes place in, and I especially like the amount of detail that went into Sister Bear's thought bubbles on this page, which, as I mentioned earlier, contain various scenes from previous Berenstain Bear books. Overall, would I recommend this book to others? Absolutely. It may not be the absolute best Berenstain Bears book in the series, but I feel it's truly a heartfelt, sentimental Christmas book with a nice message of the joy of giving that any kid and adult would enjoy, especially around Christmas time, whether you believe in Santa Claus or not. I hope you enjoyed my review of the Berenstain Bears Meet Santa Bear, and if you have any suggestions for future review videos, please leave them for me in the comments below. Please comment, rate, and subscribe to my channel too. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a nice day.